It's a cruel world for bowlers, isn't it? 10 more overs left and 400 runs have already been scored in this game between Hyderabad and Delhi. Delhi clearly wanting to make a good chase out of this. Jake Fraser-McGurk played a blistering knock. 65 of 18, unfortunately out in the over after the power play. Abhishek Porel, very impressive, 42 of 22. Prithvi Shaw started off really well, 4 fours, and then out in that first over to Washington Sundar. Markande's ball intelligently, so has Bhuvneshwar Kumar, but Delhi very much in the hunt. They need 129 in the back 10. Adam Gilchrist on Cricbuzz Comm Box. Gilly, call the game.
I think still just advantage to SRH with the runs on the board. Cummins, that 10th over was exceptional. Just, I think, 3 runs from the over. Yep. The pressure's on. There's still alive, Delhi, no doubt about it. They've been ahead of the required rate all the way through, but just an over with 2 or 3 off it, you see that rate almost go up a run every time. So pressure building, but there's the tail of the tape with the batting card. Prithvi Shaw, 4 fours in a row. And then it was interesting, wasn't it? Impact player versus impact player for the first over of that Delhi innings. And then Washington Sundar broke through, so maybe that's why Pat Cummins gave him another over, but that did not pay dividends at all. Jake Fraser-McGurk got a hold of him. Warner misses out. Nice bit of bowling by Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And then Porel played his role, and it's up to those two, really. Oh, well, they've still got Axar Patel. So it's this wicket plus one more batter, you think they need to do the lion's share of this scoring.
Another star on the horizon of the IPL, Jake Fraser-McGurk. 62 of those 65 came in boundaries. 7 sixes and 5 fours, I think it was. Yeah. Great wrist work, great bat speed. What was it?
Yeah, he's got a great eye, hand-eye coordination. He's a talented youngster. There's, again, some pretty rank bowling coming his way. That second over of Washington Sundar was just... He just kept running up and repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And I was a bit surprised Pat Cummins didn't come in and maybe just negotiate a different field setting just to try something different, change it up. But it was all pretty military there and just pretty easy for Jake. But then, he took on a few of the other bowls and played really nicely.
When you've got 266 in the pocket, clearly bowlers would fancy themselves. They'd bowl with a lot more confidence, maybe their tails up. Now, Washington Sundar aside, Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowled really well. And what a lovely knuckle ball it was to get rid of Warner. Yeah,
it just held up and almost went across him, just a bit floated across him. But so Sundar did his job getting rid of Shaw. We saw in the first innings, they went twice with a spinner and it didn't pay dividends. So. But Pat, excellent second over. Natarajan, fantastic. And you feel like Markand he's going to hold the key a little bit if he can. It's just cat and mouse, isn't it? If he went wide to Fraser-McGurk and drew the false stroke, and then he bowled a nice wide wrong to Porel and had him stumped.
It's something that the opposition did not do in the first innings. Now, what do Delhi have left? After this pair of Tristan Stubbs and the captain Rishabh Pant, who has it in him to make a match out of this. They've just got Axar Patel, followed by Lalit Yadav. So whatever has to happen with this pair in action, Stubbs and Pant.
Yeah, that's right. Yadav, I believe, Lalit Yadav can hit it around pretty well. But really, it's those 3 names on the left-hand side there, the last 3 names. They're the ones that control this game. It's still on, there's no doubt. But I just think... through this passage of play, the next 3 or 4 overs are going to be really crucial. Yep. But I just think with those runs on the board, I think SRH are just ahead.
Now, Natarajan's bowled a rather quiet 11th over. So far, he's just given away about 1 and 2 runs in the 11th. Now, that should quieten things a little bit. But if you were Pat Cummins, who would you bowl in the next 4 overs? Would you go with your first choice or would you hold them back for the death?
I think Pat needs to keep one of his overs for the last 2 overs, probably. Okay. Unless there's an emergency and he has to come on in say the 18th over. But I think he really needs to be keeping at least one. So he's got 1 more in this next 5 or 6 overs. Natarajan, if he can get out of this over, he'll clearly be getting another couple. You might need to keep one of his for the death. So Pat and he to finish. And then, as I say, the spin of Markand, I think he's going to have to give him another roll of the dice and hope that he can get out a nice wrong-un or something that keeps a bit low and gets through. But it's just... shuffling them around, but I think certainly it's the back end that's proven costly before for them. So Pat needs to be the man there.
124 needed in the last 9. The stage is set for a Rishabh Pant special. Tristan Stubbs, the young South African, is there as well with an opportunity of a lifetime to make a match out of this. Can you imagine the scenes if Delhi do it? Will they? Yes, no?
I'm with SRH at the moment.
You heard it from Gilly. We'll find out what happens over the next 9 overs. Do join us on Cricbuzz Live. At the end of this, it will be a fun conversation. I promise you that. Bye for now.